working on my first exhibit, the concept. It's a lovely day. Let's talk about procrastination as an artist with ADHD, because if you found this video, I think it might have found you. Let's do it. Don't get too distracted, Jordan. You're procrastinating on the video by... My name is Jordan T. Mystic, and I am an artist, father, an illustrator, and a content creator from the west of Sydney, Australia. Welcome to 5 Minute Friday. This is the ADHD edition of 5 Minute Fridays. And if you have ADHD and you're also an artist, you probably have dealt with procrastination a lot. Procrastination can be quite a big problem if you let it get in the way. However, the good news is that you can overcome it, and that's what we're doing today. Tip number 1, set small, achievable goals. One of the biggest challenges of an ADHD artist is the overwhelming feeling of a large project. So instead of trying to tackle it all at once, break it down into smaller, more achievable steps that you can do on a daily basis, a weekly basis, even a monthly basis. And that overwhelm of that big, scary project and that final product is going to go away. And overall, it's going to help you feel a little bit more motivated to keep going with the project, because as you may well know as well, with ADHD, one of those things about is we struggle to stay motivated. And even myself, I get to the about 90%, 80% mark of any project that I do. And before you even start the idea process or brainstorming process, set aside some time to break down your projects into smaller, more achievable steps. If you would like something that already exists like that, I have a Notion template that you can get a link in the description below that breaks down every type of visual arts project. You could apply that to any other creative project. It is a basic formula on every achievable step that you are going to take as a business owner and as a creative person for your creative project. Tip number 2, use a timer. Whew. This is a great one. Just like when you're breaking down your projects in the previous tip, using a timer to break down into 20 and 30-minute chunks, like a Pomodoro timer, or just your timer on your phone or your laptop, is going to help you to break down your time into smaller chunks. You're going to be less overwhelmed. Just have to commit to 20 or 30 minutes on even smaller. You're going to be able to move through your projects and your creative work, and even all those boring things as an entrepreneur and as a business owner that you need to do, and just work on your timer until the timer goes off. And the cool thing about the timer as well is it's going to give you some time to recharge. You can also use this timer to put in 5, 10, 15-minute breaks in between those 20-minute chunks. So try and take the time that you have every single day to work on your creative projects and find that first step, and then break it down into 20-minute chunks. We often, as ADHD people, let alone artists, struggle with attention spans. If you're doing something that's boring, this timer is the best way to go about it. But if you're doing something that you actually want to do as well, you'll find sometimes you just keep going through the timer. Other times it actually helps you not getting too hyper-focused as well, if that's something you want to avoid. Tip number 3, create a routine. Having a set routine can help you establish the times in your day when you are going to work on things. You can establish times for relaxation, breaks, do your artwork, to do any administrative stuff, to hang out with friends, whatever it may be. Even setting a time to have a shower. This will help you to build those positive habits to get towards the finished product. Every single day I like to, when I'm working on a big product like my reincarnated art or a painting, I try to set aside about 2 or 3 hours in the morning to work on that project and just get in there, put my headphones on and paint. If you don't have that luxury, that's okay, because there's other ways you can do it. The trick is you've got to stick to it and stick to it consistently. I know it's hard to be consistent with ADHD. Do your best to stick to that routine, stay with it, and you'll find that 1% every single day you're going to have within a month, within a week, within whatever time period it takes to do your project, you're going to have your project. So the only way I've been able to build a portfolio of work, and even then it was difficult, especially as a father, having a family that I have to look after, I need to know when I'm going to be working stuff and when I can't. Tip number 4 is eliminate distractions. Whew. Talk about one of the most difficult things as someone with ADHD, especially as an artist, when you want to just get into that flow state and just go, go, go. First thing you have to do is identify the things that cause you the most distraction and try to eliminate them from your workspace. So for me, it's my kids, it's my phone, it's food, It's sometimes screens, depending on what I'm watching. So I try to at least watch something that's listenable, put some TV on somewhere. If I can't avoid having my phone around me, I do my best to turn on Do Not Disturb. Might mean blocking social media. If you're working on your computer, you might find that logging out of your social media is best, because then you have to remember your password, and we know that remembering things is a bit difficult with ADHD. But communicate with your family members. If you're still living at home, you're living with a partner, whatever, housemates, just communicate with them. This is my time to work. I need no distractions, because I know something that I find the most difficulty with is when I am trying to do something and interruptions get in my way. I find I get quite frustrated and angry. So if you can communicate your best with those around you and do your best to eliminate whatever distractions you can from your workspace. But the first step, obviously, is to identify those distractions. And tip number 5 is reward yourself. This is one of my favorite ones on this entire list. It is so important to reward yourself for your hard work. As an artist with ADHD, it can be very easy to feel discouraged when you're not achieving things. Just as a person with ADHD, when you're not achieving things. And when you don't see those immediate results, it can be quite demotivating. So share this with tip number 1. Set those small goals, and when you set those small goals, set a goal to reward yourself. That might be go to the movies, eat, it doesn't matter. You figure it out, buy some new art supplies, whatever that may be. Make sure you reward yourself. I don't always necessarily keep up to this, but I'm definitely getting better at this, and it is amazing, because you're validating your own work. And you are just reminding yourself that you have achieved things, and you're looking at those smaller goals, and you're achieving those smaller goals, and you're getting closer and closer and closer to that larger goal. Something I like to do is I have a whiteboard on my wall, and I have the goals for the day, and I have a point system. I've gamified that point system, and when I hit a certain amount of points a day, I reward myself with a bath or something smaller, something I can do at home, self-care stuff. Although, just quick tangent, self-care should be done regardless of those goals. Try to hit a certain amount of points a day, and then add extra things to get extra points. And once I hit a certain amount of points by the end of the week, by the end of the month, I go and go to the movies, or buy myself a gift, something that I've been wanting to get for a long time. A new shirt, it doesn't matter. You make it up. Okay, honourable mentions. Honourable mention number 1 is use positive self-talk. Just like I said in tip number 5, it can be very easy to get discouraged, especially if you're an artist and you're working on your own, and you're not working on a collaborative project. So as people who've grown up with ADHD in some cases, or just grown up undiagnosed with ADHD, it can be even worse. We do tend to sort of fall into the shame pit, shame habits, and looking at everything I haven't done. So have a look at everything you've done, do reviews, and make sure that you back yourself. Back yourself to remind yourself of what you're really capable of. If you find that you want to journal on things you've achieved in the past, I often try to remind myself of all the work I've done up until now. I remind myself of what I have been able to achieve in smaller periods of time, not just as an artist, but as a leader of a family. Just like eliminating those distractions, back in tip number 4, you need to first identify some of that negative self-talk, some of those negative core beliefs as well. Give them a name. I know it's hard. It's so difficult to put words to our emotions. Do your best to put words to the way that you speak. Words like judgment, blame, shame, anxiety, joy, kindness, compassion for yourself. Gratitude stuff, isn't it? The more you look at what you have got and what you have done, the more likely you are to stay motivated, be kind to yourself. And the final honourable mention is stay accountable. This is about getting an accountability partner, finding someone like a business coach, family member, co-worker, maybe your partner, life partner, your girlfriend, boyfriend, housemate, parents, anyone, collaborator, or even just a friend who you can text every day and ask them what they've achieved each day, and you can share with them, and you can share in your achievements every single day. Do what you will. I've got a business coach myself, and I've got friends who I talk to all the time about everything I've achieved in the day. And I talk to my kids every day, and I ask them what they did in the day, and then I let them know what I did, if they're interested. Some days they just want to talk about themselves. They're toddlers. Talk to anyone that's in your life right now. Just find somebody. You don't have to pay somebody who wants to back you in what you're trying to achieve and wants to see that finished project. I know some people with ADHD even use their pets as an accountability partner, and that's more of a sense of like, yeah, absolutely, talk to your dog, talk to your cat, tell them what you did each day. You might not get much of a response, but this idea as well also sort of flows over from tip number 4. I myself have my dog sitting with me most days, at least in my office. Just her presence, when I see her, she reminds me if I'm getting distracted, oh, that's right, I've got to get back to work. That's an accountability partner. That's a completely legitimate accountability partner. I got that one from How to ADHD. Thank you for that one, Jessica. So yeah, just stay accountable. All right, there you have it. That's 5 tips on procrastination with ADHD. Remember, everyone's journey is different, and what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for everybody. But I certainly hope these tips have been helpful to you, and I encourage you to try them out. Try all of them, see what works best, eliminate what doesn't. And let me know in the comments which tips worked best for you. And if you have any other tips, please feel free to let me know. I am always looking for new knowledge, always researching. So please, I'd love to hear if you've got any tips that weren't in this video. So thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been your host, Jordan T. Mystic. And never forget, stay weird. Have a wonderful week, guys. Just working on my first... cars go by. Just working on my first exhibit build out. A couple commissions as well. I'm just sitting out here doing my thing. Let's talk about procrastination. Let's try that again. My name is Jordan T. Mystic. Oh, let's try that again, hey?